Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Gen Z men stopping dating because they're afraid they're going to get filmed and that their mistakes are going to be broadcast on the internet by Gen Z women.
You know, and I don't blame them for this because I have seen many videos where they've done this. And I've seen videos where guys just made the girl get out of the car. And I was like, good. Serves them right. Good. When we grew up, you know, we did a lot of stuff, but there isn't evidence of it. You know, there's everything.
Yeah.
These kids today, I do feel bad because there's cameras everywhere. And these poor kids, it is so hard. I can only imagine.
So this, you know, is kind of going along with everything else we've been talking about with Gen Z, why they're not dating as often as they used to. They're talking about how Gen Z women now are dating older men because the Gen Z men won't date. But then a lot of the women, I'm going to be honest, have these unrealistic expectations too, like the whole height thing. I don't remember that being a thing when we were.
Not just that. They're like, they have to make so much money because I deserve it. Then you see these women, and it's like, what makes you think that you are, you know, a trophy wife that somebody with a lot of money would want?
I know, right? I've seen some of these women who are like, he's got to be 6'4" and he's got to make $400,000 a year. I'm like, come on, bitch. There's no way. There's no way. Anyway, we're gonna talk about this. Before you do any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Hey, if you guys back the Geeky Sparkles Glow and Ghouls Retro Enamel Pin campaign on Kickstarter, make sure you filled out your survey. We have a lot of people that did not fill out their survey. We do not have psychic powers. We do not know where to send the pins to. So make sure, double check, make sure you filled the survey out. And we are going to be doing Christmas pins too. We're going to have to flip those pretty quick. We're still debating whether or not we'll reoffer the Halloween pins as part of that. I mean, obviously it'll be after Christmas, but it could be the nightmare before Christmas. There you go.
You mean the Halloween? Yeah.
Yeah. So check it out. Make sure you filled your survey out. All right. So this is coming from Rolling Stone. Some Gen Z men are so scared of getting filmed, they've stopped dating. People are using others' dating fails to gain clout, and it's having a chilling effect on young men's love lives.
Well, I believe it.
Yeah. So this coming from a guy, I guess, Eli Thompson, who's talking about Snapchat, and everybody's going through Snapchat. They said that a friend of mine mentioned a girl he knew from one of our sister schools. He wanted to text her, but his thumb froze. Send it, bro. One friend said, but screw it up, and it'll be screenshotted. He didn't send the text.
But as I said, they'll screenshot it and they'll post it and they'll mock people. And it's like there's with no thought about how it's going to impact the other person at all.
This is, I can't imagine this because we did grow up in a different time, right? This person said, the high school I graduated from in June, phones were out during private and public moments. It could be in class when someone fumbled a presentation or the cafeteria when someone tripped. Most clips stayed private. Snapchat group chat shared among a few dozen kids, but they could spread further and cut deeper. Last year, a friend from another school was filmed in his attempt to ask a girl out in the hallway. Even though it was awkward, he didn't do anything crazy in the video, and it was mostly just a rejection, but someone recorded him, posted it on a Snapchat story. The video had the caption, bro thought he had a chance, and over 200 people saw it by the time he got to launch.
See, this is not okay. And my next thing is, if you're one of these people like taking these videos because you think it's going to get you a high five, you're the problem. Because this is how people. Why is suicide rates up? This kind of shit. This kind of shit is why. I mean, if it's not something you'd want someone to do to you, then don't do it to somebody else. And quite frankly, if you're one of these you know, people that are out there doing this, and you're one of these women doing this, then you know what? You're going to get what you deserve. If it comes for you, then I don't feel bad.
No, I don't feel bad at all.
You set the rules.
They have trends such as fail compilations, cringe challenges, posts showing awkward mistakes or uncomfortable situations meant to make others laugh, encourage people to document embarrassing moments. Instagram accounts post people's dating profiles, text conversations, and awkward pickup lines. Sometimes they're anonymous, but not always. Before long, strangers are watching, liking, and commenting on a moment that was meant to be private.
It's not right.
Yeah, so they think that this is keeping Gen Z men from asking girls out because, you know, it's going to be making the rounds at school or whatever. If
you're a girl that can't get a date and the guy you like won't ask you out, you know, blame these other bitches for causing the problem.
All right, hold that thought for 1 second, Geeky. We have a sponsor for this video. Listen to the message from our sponsor, and then we'll get right back into it. Stem cells are like tiny repair crews in your body. They go and fix things that need to be fixed. And guess who's been ahead of the curve on all of this? Joe Rogan. He's been talking about this for years. Just watch.
I had a full-length rotator cuff tear, and the UFC gave me a doctor in Los Angeles, and he looks at my MRI and goes, "You're going to need surgery." I go, 100%? He goes, "I don't know how you're using it now. It's a matter of time. You're going to need surgery, so it might be better to do it now." So I got it shot up with stem cells. And this was the early days of stem cells in America where you could get away with more. You got to go to Mexico now.
But here's the craziest part. Most stem cell therapies are illegal in the U.S., not because they're unsafe, not because they don't work, but because they work too well. And that threatens big pharma. If you could heal your knees, fix your back, or recover from surgery without pills, insurance, or endless doctor visits, what happens to their profits? The FDA has blocked these treatments. As a result, people are forced to go overseas just to get access to their own biology, and it's expensive, unregulated, and out of reach for most of us. Just one placenta stem cell injection can set you back $50,000. Honestly, I don't have that kind of cash on me right now, but here's what most people don't know. There's a natural way to support your own stem cell activity, and it comes from high flavanol cocoa. Studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees coming out of a beehive in your bloodstream. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check out this clip.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavanols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it.
That's right, dark chocolate. But here's the thing. Flavanols are the good stuff found in cocoa beans, but they're usually destroyed during the chocolate making process. That's where Black Forest supplements come in. They've created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body actually needs. And it's only 20 calories. Mix it in with your coffee or your protein shake. It tastes amazing. This isn't regular cocoa, it's stem cell fuel. No sugar, 20 calories. Mix it in coffee or shakes. If you feel old, slow, or just off, lazy stem cells might be why. But this, it flips the switch. Over 100% increase in stem cell circulation, according to Black Forest Supplements. 40% off. Get 40% off for 48 hours only. Link in my description or the pinned comment below. Don't miss it. That's blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. Thank you very much, Black Forest, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into the news. The threat of public shaming makes normal interactions risky and at times can lessen the chance young men will pursue relationships or go out on dates.
It's not right, because like when we were kids, like we did a lot of dumb stuff. But there's photos sometimes, but there wasn't cameras everywhere. No one had phones. They weren't videotaped constantly. I mean, there was video footage if you did stuff stupid that you deliberately set up, but most people, it wasn't there for everybody, the world to see. You don't have that. It's not spread all over the internet like it is now. And there's so many kids that are caught up in this, and they're afraid to do anything. I think it's part of the reason people don't talk to each other.
I think so.
They're afraid
Yeah.
to do anything. It's part of the reason why suicide rates are up, because if they do one thing that's wrong, they'll follow them their entire life.
It's really weird because our son was telling us at school that, you know, in the dorms, they actually have their Instagram count and their Snapchat count.
They were
on their damn doors, and there were parties that you could only get invited to if you had X number of followers. I mean, it's fucking surreal. I mean, it really is very weird.
But now with AI, you know, how do you know it's even a real thing that happened? It could be that you generated, you know, somebody you don't like, and you generated an embarrassing video about that person, and it's not even real. We're going into territory there.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, I don't know, man. This definitely changes things. I mean, I wasn't much of a dater in high school.
Nor was I.
But you know, if I was going to ask somebody out, I don't think I wouldn't ask in the hallway anyway, because there are other people that could, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of me is like, well, if you're doing it at school, I'm like, no, you get her phone number, but yeah, they can screenshot everything. I mean, these are things that I never really stopped to think about it being older and married. that are definitely, I think, contributing to Gen Z men feeling so lost, because it's like your natural instinct is to go ask a girl out and date and whatever, and you can't even relax enough to ask somebody out because, you know, it could be all over the internet.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking of all the things I did in high school that were embarrassing, and if they were floating around the internet, I'd be like, oh my God, you know, like I was checking out some guy at the store and I ran into a pole. And I was in the hall between classes, and I went to put something in my locker, and I had pads fly all over the hall, and the senior football players helped pick them up. I was a freshman. That was, yeah. Anyway.
Pad fail.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
I mean, I was, you know, and then this doesn't account for people like, they were going to shame people by their appearance. You see that a lot. They shame people by their appearance. People got in trouble, and they're not doing it so much now, but they were in the locker rooms at the gym and stuff, taking pictures of people like without clothes on, or, you know, they were in there trying to change their life, and they're taking pictures and making fun of them on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do anything now for fear someone's going to, you know, take your picture and make fun of you.
And this is why I think
be
everybody's so
hard.
weird.
I would say it must be hard being so perfect all the fucking time.
Yeah, I know, right? Filters. Lots of filters. That's what I use. Lots of filters.
Yeah, a lot of these people that are out there doing that, they put a lot of filters on their face.
No, oh yeah, they do. It's like, yeah, you look like plastic. That's not you. So yeah, he said this creates an unchecked culture of humiliation, makes the social media world for Gen Z a place where accountability is absent and cruelty is rewarded.
Yes, it's true, and it's wrong. And I'm anti-bullying like 100%, and this just makes my blood boil. It pisses me off so bad.
They said it creates a vicious cycle where shame is a currency, and the only
Yes.
person who actually pays the price is the one who is mocked.
Yes, it's
And
not
then-
right. It's not okay.
And then people were like, oh, yeah, you know, this person gives off like school shooter vibes. I'm like, well, maybe this person is afraid, or this person has been mocked, or this person has been, you know, an outcast. That's, you know, it sucks. I just never really thought about it. But they said, yeah, Gen Z men are dating, and women are going elsewhere, apparently. So this is, God.
Well, we'll go elsewhere until the same women start doing it to the millennials. And
Yeah.
then, you know, they're not going to date them either. They're going to be like, no.
Yeah, well, they had a whole app. They had a whole app where, you know, the T app, we talked about that, where women were, you know, talking trash about guys behind their backs on this app. And then it got outed, and it's like, oh my God.
Well,
what are we gonna
anybody.
do?
I mean, and I'm sure dudes do it to girls too. It's
Yeah.
like, don't be a catty bitch. And that's a gender neutral bitch there.
Yep. So this is just a couple of weeks ago. Why Gen Z women are opting to date millennial men? Well, because the Gen Z men aren't dating, apparently. It said 60% of Gen Z men are single, compared to only 30% of Gen Z women. This growing disparity suggests many young women aren't just opting out of relationships, they're actively dating older. The reason, for many, millennial men seem more emotionally mature, politically grounded, and better equipped for adult relationships than their Gen Z counterparts.
No, I'm going to add something else that's not being taken into consideration. How many of those women who are dating women? Because there is a super trend in Gen Z, big time trend in Gen Z. I see it more in Gen Z than any place else, where, you know, everybody thinks that they're, you know, they're on the alphabet in some way, at least for a short time frame, at least for a short period until they snap out of it, or some of them genuinely are, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there is this push. My daughter was going to school in 4th grade, and at the lunch table, the first day of school, they were going around asking everybody how they identified and who, you know, and it's like, this is 4th grade.
I did. Like, nobody talked about any of that
No.
stuff. Nobody
So,
talked about any of that stuff when we were
They're
kids.
like 30% of women are dating, but they didn't say they were dating other men,
Oh, that's true.
you know? Or they might date a man who identifies as a woman, or a woman who identifies as a man. You know what I mean?
So this
what,
is
you
the
know?
wrong. This is the wrong take. This is the wrong take, in my opinion. This is the wrong take, because they're saying the reason they're dating millennial men is because of the red pill manosphere, because of Andrew Tate, because
for
Gen
fuck's
Z's been poisoned by Andrew Tate. Well,
Oh,
maybe
I think Gen Z's been poisoned by a lot of things. I
think they have
that
been, yeah.
And I think and for all I actually would argue it's far more so on what I was just describing a minute ago than it is Andrew Tate, which
far
both
right
are,
politics.
Yeah, both are. Yeah, of course, because they're going to take everything into a political thing. Do I think there's boys out there that are, you know, have issues because they watched Andrew Tate and they think that, you know, they're kind of dicks? Yes, but that kind of flies in the face of this other article, because that would imply that they think that women owe them something, and they would be asking that. They wouldn't care, you know, if women said no or whatever, because women, or they would still go and do it anyway, because, you know, get in the kitchen kind of thing, but they're not. But so that argument obviously is invalid. I mean, I don't think it's to the level that they're making it out to be.
So they're talking about, this comes from Newsweek, and they're saying that people that want to date now, Gen Z people that want to date, are dating older, and they're calling it shrekking if they're older and uglier.
Oh my God. Wait.
Shrekking.
They're dating older and uglier.
Yes,
Well, I
shrekking.
mean, who's to say just because someone isn't as pretty as somebody else or good looking as somebody else doesn't mean that they're a bad person to date. They might be a really great person. This whole idea that everything's based on looks, I'm kind of low key, kind of like, good, because maybe you're going to learn that not everything is all based on appearances.
So shrekking, a nod to the grumpy ogre who snagged a princess, who was also an ogre, by the way.
She preferred to be the ogre herself. And when she wasn't, she was a ginger, but
She was just female presenting, but then she just became an ogre for like the rest of the series. But they said, refers to a dating trend where people intentionally choose a partner they believe is less good looking than themselves in the hope that they will be treated better.
Okay, well, that's just shit. But I'm just saying, I think people, they turn down people that might be really good people just because they don't have they don't look like a 10 or something like that.
God, this is just like wild. I mean, this is just like crazy. And then I'm waiting for them to blame the far right in this. Like,
they keep blaming the right for everything.
But they said that Gen Z, they said Gen Z is not dating as much as they used to. It comes as Gen Zers have been dating up the age range, reportedly rejecting men in their own age or men their own age in favor of older men. Are they rejecting men their own age, or are they just not, the men their own age aren't interested in dating because...
But here's the thing too. The millennials, the youngest millennials are like starting to be like in their late 20s, early 30s now. And the older Gen Zs are right after that. So by that means you could be like, I'm 25 and I'm dating somebody who's 30. It's not exactly like a huge...
Oh my God. I remember there was this one girl I worked with at the one newspaper, and she was a college student. She was like 19, but she was dating like a 32-year-old guy. And that's all she talked about.
Oh God!
Like,
she mentioned his age like constantly.
Yes, like nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, your parents might care.
I question a 32-year-old guy.
Yeah, I would be like, your parents are probably like, what the hell? Because at that age, it's quite a difference. But she just kept, and I remember she was asking me questions. She was like, "Do you think a 32-year-old guy would like this shirt, this sweater?" I'm like, how old do you think I am? I'm like 21, 22. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, did I mention my boyfriend's 32? And I'm living on my own, and he has his own house because he's 32.
He's probably got a wife too. That's what I'm worried about. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, oh, these older men are dating these younger women, and I'm like, are they like side chicks, or something? I'm trying to figure it out. But
oh my God, what was it? Was it Big Daddy? Where the girl's dating the really old dude.
Yes.
Yeah, the really old dude. And I'm thinking
he's got a plan.
It's like, what's your plan? Live in the 70? I mean, hopefully. I mean, geez, man, I don't know. But I think there's a lot of things going on. I think Gen Z men, I mean, I'm torn because it seems like the women are the ones you mentioned, the whole, everybody has to have a different sexual identity. 9 times out of 10 in Gen Z, it's the women.
Yeah, no, that's not untrue. I mean, and then some people legitimately, I think, do feel that way. But I think a lot of them they just think that because social media has told them they do. And then eventually they just stop doing it.
Yeah, eventually they're like, wait a minute, I do not have 27 genders. I'm not, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. The whole thing is weird. Like everything feels broken. And I personally think it was done deliberately by somebody somewhere, some machination somewhere to just like throw a wrench into things. It's kind of like when you've got ants in the line and then you just like put an object in front of them and they don't know what to do. It's kind of like, let's just like toss a hand grenade into the normal family life, the biological reproduction, and see what happens. And it's just everything goes to hell. If you want to depopulate the planet or cut down the population, this is kind of how you do it, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking about these poor guys that are getting mocked and stuff. And I'm sure it happens to women too. And it's like, I have no tolerance for it. It's just not necessary. It's just mean. Shrekking.
That sounds like something else. It sounds like you're raw dog in a Shrek.
What?
you're
Oh my God.
Get Pinocchio in on that too while we're at it.
It's so loud. Okay, my sister used to say, Pinocchio is my pimp. I sit on his face and say, lie to me, lie to me. Anyway.
We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
I'm a real boy now. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.